All right, so we last left off. We want to set the state, and then we want to do something. So our intuition says, let's just kind of put the logic right here, right? But what's actually going on here is that this set state, this is kicking off an event to the event loop. If we recall the event loop from last week. And it's going to kick, and it's going to do it in the very, very, very near future.
Just not right now.
Just not right now yet. Are you stretching?
No, I'm sure. Yes.
Okay. So we have a tool here that we haven't touched on yet. Here's a new topic for you. This set state actually takes a couple of different parameters. The first one is the object that we want to update to. The second one is the callback. So I'm saying, hey, I want you to set the state with this stuff and then run this code.
You can do it then, too.
Oh, can I? Okay. We can even use then. And say, hey, set state, then run this code. So this is where we want to check to see if they've picked 2, right?
Okay, yeah.
So, and now we know that they've.
What do we want to see if they're the same?
So yep, if this dot state dot pix dot length equals 2, and this dot state dot pix
0 and 1 equals.
triple equals 0 and 1.
So anything that gets put in a queue in the event queue, in the event loop
With the event loop,
queue at the bottom.
Yeah.
Remember we were watching that thing. And
queue, yeah.
Can have a promise.
Not everything, but a lot of things typically in modern.
Promises are actually a newer feature of JavaScript
Yeah.
that predate that event loop. So that event loop's always been there.
Mm-hmm.
Before, you just had callback functions. You just give it a function to call later. Promises are a fairly new feature that, if you think about it, if you had like a lot of code that needed to happen in callbacks, you could have a callback inside of 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 a callback. There's a name for that. It's called callback hell.
Yeah, we talked about it one day.
Yeah, and promises give you a way to, instead of nesting those things, to chain them together end to end, and it just makes the code easier to read.
Yep.
It lets you break up the code sometimes a little bit better because you can just return the promise and then something else can respond to it. It gives you more flexibility in how you write your code in a clean way. But it's a fairly modern feature.
Can you read me the if?
Yep. So
Read it one time and then really fast run me the logic of it.
yeah. So we're checking to see if we picked 2. So have we picked 2? Has the user actually clicked a second one? And then if that's true, then we're saying, does the first one in the pick equal the second one in the pick?
And the equals y2 and 3.
I mean, we're equal is just
Two equal sign. Is there?
No.
That's actually going to yell at me.
Both be free things.
Yeah, that was going to yell at me.
So
I was typing while I was talking.
So we haven't gotten to where we would use the 2.
Right.
Okay.
You generally shouldn't, and actually React will
We'll
React will.
React
But
finally.
both of
Yeah.
them make sense.
Okay.
Skynet will live
I
at
thought
issue.
this-
Yeah, before that, it told you.
So, but just always use 3.
Always use 3.
Okay.
There's never a reason.
Never
In
a reason to use
JavaScript, there's really never a reason to use 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 puts you in a weird place with like ambiguity and stuff.
That you just always want
It's
to
error.
constant.
It's error prone.
Yeah.
That's how read type, right?
Just can't use that.
It'll try to coalesce the types, and which means you could be like, is this empty string false? And you're like, no, I need to know if that name is false or not. Is it an empty string?
Are you sure that it returns a promise?
Uh,
Because I'm getting a then of undefined.
I maybe lied.
Oh. Okay.
Damn, I like this better.
I did too. I was so happy with that because I always just use the callback.
My page is always good.
You know what?
Is it because it's a double equal?
Set state promise.
No, it's the function call that's raising there. Oh, look, there's an issue from December 2014. How did that get resolved?
So just to kind of give context, we thought that there was a feature, but it wasn't. So we're like, why is there not a feature? So we typed in that feature in Google, and we found actually a GitHub issue for the exact same thing. We want to make set state return a promise.
The issue's closed. What was the resolution? Like, when
Yeah.
they closed it, what was the deal? Let's go look at that at the bottom. Was there a pull request that got merged, or was like
It was closed like fast.
somebody's like, we're not doing that?
Just,
Get out of the commission.
Yeah. So
Oh, that guy right there, Giron,
yeah.
super smart. That's what's his name? Dan Abramoff. That's the author of Redux.
oh wow.
So he says we can use a state.
Yeah, component did update a lot of times. Like when you're trying to use the set state callback, component did update probably the better.
Could we use it here?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's use that here.
Get it working how you wrote it first, and then refactor.
Okay.
Like, but switch up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess they just decided not. So,
I still wanna see
what I was
what-
actually going to say is, I won't be surprised if Dan Abramoff just closed this issue and said won't fix. This is what I was going to say. He's a smart guy who's opinionated.
Let's see. It was closed.
Current state of opinion of the JavaScript community.
Stop prompts.
All the way down. So I just want to see like
Yeah.
how to do that. It's like reading that last paragraph of the book and then going back and reading the whole book. We're not adding this
Next.
next year.
as I said above.
Anytime I see
Citizen
something like that.
feedback. As we think about APIs, not that we'll make it return a promise.
This says that this is like on some sticky note on some guy's desk that they're never gonna get to. Like, so
Is that the last comment?
that is the
Was it?
last. It is
And they
locked.
locked it.
They locked it.
Yeah. I told you, you're on.
So
So
you
close
were-
it and say it won't fix.
Oh, okay. That was a good learning experience.
You can't use promises.
So you cannot use promises. So you have to use a callback. And all I mean, instead of using the nice .then statement, the nice .then syntax, you pass it a function as a
You
second
better get
variable.
to write a comment instead of that.
Yeah.
You'll have to fix that.
Yeah, so console.log matched.
Yeah.
Yep. And then else console log nope. No match.
No matching.
Match A. It's French. So now, see React will give us that warning like, wait a minute. Sorry.
Alright.
Bad.
Use the prequels.
So we'll pick the robot.
Are you cheating? You don't have faces up and down yet.
Not yet. That's going to be our reason to abstract it. So the staple was updated. That's interesting.
It still went to the else.
It still went to the else.
Yeah. Well, it's going to go to the else because it's
Oh, yeah.
a callback.
Yep, that's right. And then if I pick
Oh
the
wait, no, I thought it was no match, not just nope.
Nope.
Is there another nope somewhere?
Yeah. So no match.
Yeah, you got here later, right? Did you sign Tony's door? Did you want to sign Tony's door?
oh yeah, Mike, you should sign Tony's door.
If you want to. I mean, I'm not.
So
I'm
explain
not
that.
forcing anybody. It's not my friend.
Take a marker and sign it.
Hey, Margaret, go take this.
Get a permanent mark to go.
Why is else running? And why is not displaying the whole no match?
Because that callback will happen every single time.
It wasn't the latest version of the code, so I just had to refresh the page. So no match yet. Already
Oh, yeah,
pick
it's not-
0.
Right.
It's not the same, so they go to else.
So I picked the robot. So if I pick the robot,
Do you have the React DevTools installed?
I do not.
You should install them because then you can just watch the state.
Could.
You just open the visualization of the state, just watch
Yeah.
it change as you click things.
I mean, what install?
The React DevTools.
Okay.
On
So if we notice, our logic didn't work. I picked two robots. 0 and 9 are the two robots.
Oh, they're not equal. 0 is
Says
not
they're not
I
equal.
know what it is.
I do too.
Yes. What were we comparing?
You
Would
put
it
the
be,
index.
Would it be, what's the array called that has
Yeah.
faces? Would you just do faces of 0?
Yes, exactly. We were comparing the indexes 0 and 9. What we want to look up is the values
That are in.
of
That are in
those in the array and see if they're the same.
Yeah.
So now I should be able to.
So they were comparing. Yeah, exactly.
You just love the whole thing.
So if I pick turtle and pick turtle, matched. Woo!
So if I say compare array 1 with array 2, array index 1 and array index 2, should I not get the value of that?
They're
You
different.
would, yeah. What Mark had before though was he was comparing 1 and 2.
Oh, 1 and 2.
The
Yeah.
numbers.
I'm
Whatever
actually
you
comparing
do,
the indexes, not the actual value of the indexes.
the indexes are going to be different unless you pick the same card sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Could you recommend just putting the callback as anonymous until you feel good about it later?
Yeah. I really wouldn't name this unless I'm doing this someplace else again.
Okay.
I'm just keeping it anonymous. Oh, yeah, get him to sign the door.
So what was the next question?
Anonymous.
Anonymous function. So see how this is an
Okay.
anonymous function. Is should I go and name that later?
You named it first and then you took it out, yeah.
But it's like I don't need to name it, and I'm
Because you're not
going
using it anywhere else.
exactly.
We use it, let's name it to call
Yep.
it.
Yep. But it's here. It's like you know what? I'm not. Now that I match, what do I want to do? Not restart. Oh yeah, I want to restart.
Balloons.
What's the other array that you need?
Let's find out. Matched.
Match.
So I want to add something to match. So what should we add to match?
Set to keys.
Add position of cards to matched. So we want to add both of these cards that we picked to matched. So it'd be this.
I would have tell based on this right now. How it's gonna come back later for that. But how would I tell this the program not to click an index that was clicked already?
Because it'll be faced.
We're going to be
Yeah, but you never know. A user can start clicking it.
we're going to be doing that in about 5
Slicer or
minutes.
something.
Because this we're going to say that now that we've matched these two, we don't want to display them face up. So now we're going to add a little bit of logic down here, and we're going to need to abstract out that card into its own component to kind of help manage that logic. Lost my train of thought. We want to do something here.
Matched.
This dot set state. We want to store it in state because it's going to be changing over time. Matched. This dot state dot matched dot concat. The picks. We want to say, hey, take the picks array and add it into this array and make a new array.
You could have 2 arrays together.
Yep. And then we also want to reset the picks, right? Yep. Picks is empty array.
I can't.
What?
I can't see.
I just like doing that.
It would have been really nice. How are you
We were waiting
wireless?
for that moment.
What?
Chromecast?
Chromecast, yeah.
Would have been a nice thing to have. And a rolling thing too.
Yeah, right. This is almost a requirement whenever I talk, whenever I set up a classroom. It's like, I need a Chromecast or some sort of wireless display, and I need to be able to move around. Whatever that looks like. I know I'm picky.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it was superstar. I want some food.
This on this. I only want green and blue M&Ms. All the yellow ones have to be peanut. I can pull it off. So here we are. We're resetting our game, right? We're saying, hey, after we pick the first two, if they match, we want to add it to our match. Then we want to reset the picks. If they don't match, what do we want to do?
Flip them back over. Take them.
But only after we get two, right?
Right.
So else if
We want to put a little pseudocode in here to flip them over later. That's what that's going to happen, isn't it?
so this code doesn't care about flipping them over the internet. Because that's not saying it's going to re-render it, and we're deferring that logic down to the actual component itself. So we're saying, hey card, here's your current state. We're going to give it to you as props, and then you're going to display yourself accordingly. So this is only caring about like the actual game logic itself. Feeling good? Do we like this code?
The only part is the his.state.fix.
I actually want to refactor this just for that reason.
No, this.
Yeah, I know. I see it on line 29. Else if his dot state dot pix. Yeah.
Yes, or her.
It's duplicated code, or his or hers. You know.
Is
So I'm going to wrap this state dot pix dot length equals 2. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Then take this and move it up into there. So now we're only running this logic if length equals 2. So if it's equal to 2, if they match, cool. They don't match, womp.
Should that be? Should the? Oh no, that's outside. That's never mind.
Yep.
So basically, we're starting the whole thing.
Yep. So to kind of validate where we're at, because we always like to kind of check in, what should work? I should now be able to click 2, and it'll tell me whether they match or not. I should be able to keep on trying it. So if I pick robot and turtle,
Or
wowzers.
it's fix.
Oh. Thank you, JavaScript, for letting that run. Boop. Okay, state was updated. Nope, no match because I picked robot and turtle. And my state is empty, which is good. So if I come down here, if I pick turtle and turtle, matched.
your states go.
Match.
So my matched is now 1 and 6, which is good. And my picks is now empty, so I can start doing my picks again.
Pick tomorrow, please.
Yeah. We'll pick robot and robot, or alien and alien matched.
And now,
Oh, it keeps track of them too.
now
Yep.
pick the turtle card again.
Oh yeah, it's gonna,
Maybe the idiot user.
yeah, that's,
That didn't do anything.
yep, that's what that's the logic that's the logic that we need to put in now is how do we prevent that? I'm going to commit, added pick logic. So it's kind of recenter. So we're going to get rid of some of these console.logs here. So now let's go down to being able to actually show and hide cards. That's the other part of the game logic, right?
Rendering.
So it's going to happen down in this render. And we're going to have to add some functionality to this span. Now we're adding more stuff here. This works, that's fine, but since we're going to add more stuff to it, let's go ahead and make this its own component. Its own thing, so we can actually encapsulate and hide that logic from memory game. Because memory game doesn't care how it's displayed. Whether we use like a span with a background image, whether we use two different images, like it doesn't care. So, what should we call this? Card.js.
Card render.
No, that's not, doesn't say what it needs doing.
Face up, face down card.
Maybe just.
Yeah, this
I
guy's
was-
card.
That's what it is.
It's a card.
It's a card.
It's a card.
The card might have behavior, but it's a card. That's what I would call
Yeah, so
I'd
We-
like to report zooming out. You were like, oh my god.
so we know that we're going to be returning and using minimally this, right? So as I refactor this, I'm just going to take this and just plop it right here inside of the render. And now I'm going to make this work.
You just took the stuff into cards.
Yep.
No, I didn't understand. Okay.
Yep. So now I need to make this work. There's a couple things that are not right here. First off, we don't know where face is coming from. Don't know where I is coming from, the index. Meaning we don't know where this dot choose is.
that whole key thing. Just go back to the other file.
So,
Import memory game.
so we don't need to import memory game because this card is a child component of memory. So now we need to pass this value and pass those values as props. So we have the index that we have to pass down. We have to pass down the face, what's the actual value. And minimally, we have to also pass down this dot choose. So this is this is a new idea that we're going to talk about that you will need to use for this weekend. Is we are going to be passing down a function from the parent down to the child. Because remember, in JavaScript, functions are first-class citizens, so functions are just data. So we're just saying, hey, child component, have this function. And that child component is going to then run that function. It doesn't care what that function does. And that function will actually act upon the parent state, which is kind of cool. So now you have a child component that's affecting the parent.
It would do that as opposed to writing a function over again.
And we actually couldn't put it here even if we tried. Because these cards, we're going to have 16 cards on the screen. They all need to use the same choose account because they care about what's in their parent state. So let's get this to work. So what was it? Index. We this dot props dot index. This dot props dot face. And this dot props dot choose.
And those are properties that are defined in the parent.
Yep, so up here in the memory game, we want to return card. It was face equals the face. Index equals I. And choose equals this dot choose. So now we're only passing a reference to this function. This function is still in the memory game component. It still uses the state of the memory game component as well.
You're just expanding the scope.
We're not expanding the scope. We are passing the scope down and giving it access.
You create
So-
a bridge or a tunnel to pass information back and forth between the parent and the child.
Yes, that's a good way to think about it. We're taking the parent scope, the parent this, and saying, hey, I'm going to wrap it up in a function that you can use. And it will affect what I'm doing.
So if you were to pass the function through multiple components.
Yep.
Down to like the fifth, level, that return value will always go back to the parent.
So you could pass it down,
Will it trickle back up or will it go right to the parent?
it'll go right back up. It won't trickle up.
Because the export memory game at the bottom, that's how it is to go back to the parent.
No, because we're passing in this dot choose here,
Okay.
and this dot choose is a function on the parent.
Oh, okay. Just. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were in card.js.
No, we hopped over to the memory game there.
I'm sorry, this dot choose is in the memory game .js.
Yep,
Okay.
but it's going to be called from card.js because we're passing it down.
Yeah, there you go.
When you're setting the props like that, you may face, index, and choose all the same card, right?
They don't have to be.
Well, I mean the equal before the equal sign,
So like
right
here,
there. That's the same as like. So you're saying that doesn't matter.
this has to be whatever we call it down here in props.
Oh, so that does have to be the same.
This stuff
But what's
drops off
inside
base.
what's inside the curly brackets could be whatever you want to.
Well, it has to be the name of the state.
So like this face is coming from the map.
Okay.
This face is what I defined down here.
Right.
So like if I name this display text and make it really abstract, over here,
You have to do that.
display text equals face.
Okay.
Because it's called face there.
And then choose. I get why choose is choose. Why is the other one this dot choose?
Because this dot choose is referring, that's the value that we want to pass down as choose.
Okay.
And that value that we want to pass down is this function
Is that function?
of this dot choose.
It says it's a function. We say this.
And you don't have to put parentheses after choose when you're passing.
Nope, because if you put parentheses, that's invoking the function. We don't want to actually run the function. We just want to point to it and go, hey, here's what you're running. Because we don't want to run it yet. We want to say, when you do run this function.
If you were referring to faces, this dot faces,
Yeah,
would it be this dot faces?
no, just faces for right now.
No, not. I'm talking about that faces.
Yeah, it's just faces for right now.
If you were to pass it,
If I were to pass it,
it would
it'd be this dot props
faces.
up.
Oh, dot props up.
Yep.
In card.
Yeah. So what Chris is saying is that if for whatever reason I wanted to do this, right?
Oh. So this dot when you're passing something is only the function.
It's only for when you want to pass something that's a part of the parent class. Usually that's functions.
But you could have passed the prop that way too.
Yeah. I could if something was a prop of memory game and wanted to pass down to card, it'd just be this dot prop dot whatever the value is. So you could pass values from parents to children to grandchildren to great grandchildren.
You just have to do it each time.
Yep.
You can't.
You have to explicitly call it out. That might seem a bit weird, but like it really forces you to manage what's going on, and it makes your code a lot less kludgy.
So you have one way in and one way out.
One way in, and that's it.
But no, but you're returning, aren't you?
Sort of. I mean, it's displaying. It's not returning in that traditional sense.
Maybe if, to the lesson. Now that you're passing the function, I just don't see how it's being, maybe if I see the cards.js, I see how it's being used.
Yeah, you're gonna send face on it and this.
This dot props up. Choose face in a value. This dot props up.
This prop.
And each card index instance will have a different index.
Yep, so remember when I'm passing display text? That's props, so it's whatever the face is. I'm also passing the index, the current I value. That's how we're keeping track of it, right, inside of our game logic. As the index. And I'm also passing what to do whenever it's clicked. So I'm saying, hey, whenever it's clicked, run the code that's up to my parent with this value.
Just gotta keep track of who's doing what, where, and when.
Mm-hmm. How are we feeling with this?
Now we're starting to feel like drivers here.
Yeah. This is.
So in this particular item, you're rendering on the screen a picture.
Yep.
And then you're also running a function
On click.
on click. And whatever, somewhere along the way, it has to get back what was clicked.
Yep. Which is what's happening right here.
It happens in the choose function.
Yeah, right, so
But-
it says, okay, this was choose, hey,
Hey, parent component. Or it actually doesn't care. It just knows it has a function
right,
called choose that's passing it an index to.
right,
It doesn't care where choose actually is located. It's just saying, hey, choose run.
right, but
But
the
it-
logic behind choose is run in the memory game.
Yep.
So it basically has to say, this is the index, now
Yep.
do whatever you're gonna do with it,
It's pretty much lobbing that index
back
up,
up to the parent.
back up to the parent. And then that parent's going to do its thing and then re-render everything. So let's see if this works. Ooh, forgot to add our key back in. So now we click the robot, click the octopus. There's no match, no matched. But if we click alien and alien, our match should be successful. That's awesome. What time is it? 11:52. We have 8 minutes to now hide the cards that we've selected, or hide the cards that we have not selected. Let's actually make this match game be a match game. So for each card, what do we need to know?
It's matched or not?
If we matched it or if we picked it.
Yeah. You could do
So if you take, you have to display.
There's a lot of people talked at once.
As soon as it enters the array of picks array, it has to display.
All right. So as soon as it's picked, so let's break down this problem. If it's picked, then we need to show it. That means we need to hide it by default, right?
So we want to hide it first.
Yep. So let's come over here to our card.js. And instead of, so we're going to now, inside of our render, we're going to do an if statement here. Actually, we're going to try the best way to piecemeal this. We're going to take this, comment it out. And we're just going to use the text hidden for right now. That's it. Now this goes back to, we only want the on-click if it's hidden, right? So whenever we put in an else here, we're not going to have the on-click. Because we're going to have some logic here when we're getting to that. So now if I come back over here, I just have a long list of hidden. Let's make that a bit one character-y.
That's like what we're working.
Boop. There we go. Actually, doesn't look half bad. ASCII art card.
It's a card.
Yeah. So now we want to pass down the matched ones down to this card to see if it's part of the picked, sorry. So see if it's currently picked. So picked equals this dot state dot picked picks.
Picks or match? Picks.
Pretty good.
We're doing picks for right now. That's it. And then we'll worry about matches. So if we do picks, we can do some logic here. If this dot props dot picks dot index of, have we seen that before? Or even contains?
Contains, I think would be.
Yep. So contains is a method on an array that just asks the question, does this array contain whatever we pass it? So we're saying if picks contains this index, that means that it was picked, right? So if it's picked, we want to show the card. So we want to take this and put it right here. Am I missing something else? Return that. Glop. Gloop. Still missing something here.
There's a missing parenthesis.
The parentheses is supposed to be part of it. You copy and paste and put that parentheses in the bottom.
Like for the return, for the first return. It's supposed to be parentheses.
Oh, okay, I see. That took ones like that. So we're still missing down here. We have an extra one here. That's the one I forgot. Yep. And then, and we're missing one for the render. Yep. So now I come over here.
There's one more. It's picked. This dot props dot picked.
That's why it didn't work. Pix.contains is not a function. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You're lying to me.
I think it might be does contain, or there's like a word in front of it.
Includes.
Oh, includes.
Wrong language.
Yeah. They all just kind of merged together at one point.
'Cause I know this contains, I think, one of the.
So we have the robot. Do you remember where the robot is?
Ooh.
Oh,
Four
everyone.
down from the right.
What is it?
4 down.
1, 2, 3.
Down from the
I know the turtle.
This one?
Yeah, the other little robot is right here. But
Did it work? So turtle.
turtle was the first
Turtle, yeah.
one more down.
You have to scroll to do the
There's
magic.
one more down.
So how can we make this a bit easier for ourselves?
Console.
Over here, instead of displaying a star, let's just display the text. So now we know that if it has brackets, it's hidden. If there's no brackets, then it's not hidden.
Oh, okay.
Remember, we can do stuff like this because, like, we can go back and change that whenever we're done. We want to make our lives as developers easy as possible. This is the same theory that if you're debugging CSS, you just break it hard with like crazy borders and lots of margins and stuff like that, and then you kind of refine it as you go. So anyway, so we got this. So matched 1.6, it's working. That's awesome, right?
But still,
But it's still hidden. So now, not only do we need to pass down the picks, we also need to pass down matched. So how do you want to do that?
Then naturally taking them out.
We'll just display them. We'll just keep them face up. But that is an option. I think on the initial requirements it said we could do either or.
Would we pop that?
We'd have to remove them from the array. But I like just showing them. Because I like to feel accomplished. I like to see everything face up when
I
I'm
would
done.
like to see if it's up and unremoved.
That being said, some people like to see like an empty board, like I cleared it.
I don't remember.
But yeah, that's the
Random
purpose of it, right? Yeah.
It will rearrange it, so it will look.
It will make it harder.
It would make our, really,
That would be an interesting difficulty level.
Yeah. So why don't we rename this to face up cards and do concat this dot state dot match.
Hold on.
You said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now picks or picked what was here was just an array, right? We have an array of numbers that we're looking for to see if we should display face up. So why don't we piggyback that logic and just say, hey, instead of just picks, now we have someone else matched. So instead of duplicating that logic, I'm going, hey, what I'm actually doing is giving it a list of cards that I want to be displayed face up. So I'm doing that by, I renamed to make it more meaningful. And I'm just concatenating these two arrays together.
Hello.
Good morning.
Thanks for my birthday messages. Appreciate
Everybody
that.
gave me yesterday,
Thanks.
but
Somebody
Thanks.
Somebody was here yesterday.
No, I tried to dodge it, you know.
I don't blame you at all.
Had a really nice day. Didn't set my alarm. Woke up at 7:30.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Went and co-worked from my favorite coffee shop. Ran into an alumni there. Actually ran into quite a few. Ryan, who's doing the crash course soon. Ryan Atkinson. Then had tacos at Green Lemon for lunch. Co-worked there. Then co-worked at home with my puppy for a bit. So it was very nice. Then went back to Green Lemon for tacos.
Oh, of course.
Shocking. So
Of course.
it's my favorite place.
Green Mountain's good.
Yeah, so thank y'all so much. Thank you. Take your time. We're running a few minutes late anyway.
Okay.
Oh, it's 12:30 anyway, right? Or
Is it
12?
12?
I can't remember.
No.
Now, okay.
Potato pie, yep.
What is that?
it's 12.
Potato bar group lunch?
It's on my calendar. It's out of the auditorium.
Interesting. All right. Well, anyway, yes.
Oh,
Y'all
I know
enjoy
that.
the rest of Dr. B. Yeah, take your time.
Okay, we're wrapping up soon. I know what that is. Okay.
We have an auditorium.
No, we don't. If only. If only. We'd be filled with a potato bar right now. So we have an error in there. I don't know if you saw that. So why? Oh, I need to match something. There we go. Hey. So it's working, I think. So let's go back here.
The thing is, you can still click it.
Can you?
Sure.
Can you now?
What you did, take off.
So if it's face up, we don't want them to be able to click it, right?
Just right on the event there.
So we just take off the event because now they're two different spans.
Oh, okay.
So I can go, nope, don't need you anymore.
Also, that takes away the bug of if they just click the card twice.
So now we have a match game.
Sure.
Uh-oh. And they're in different spots now.
Why
So-
are they different spots?
Well, instead of being the
Oh,
two
okay.
column,
Same, but now you have to, so the turtle is
1
gonna
and
be
6.
2,
one,
that's turtle, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
this one.
That one.
You're so.
Are you getting lucky or you?
No, I'm good.
He knew what order they were.
No, I didn't.
He played this game last night, guys.
I didn't actually build it this
So
morning.
randomize.
For 6 hours last night when he got home.
So can we randomize it?
So what time is it?
Oh, 6.
12:04. So how would we organize? How would we randomize it?
Just,
This dot mass dot random dot order dot.
so it had to be in your,
Okay. You just,
So when we load the game, we have to call a function to.
order my shuffle faces.
So now we want to shuffle it.
Oh, God. Let's do that again.
User code.
We can go back to
As we have code that does shuffle. You know what? We will revisit this at 2:00, and we'll shuffle it then.
Okay.
We'll shuffle it. We'll have when we reset it too. We'll have a reset button, and we'll get it so when you pick the second card, it doesn't immediately hide both. It waits for a little bit before it hides them.
Yeah, like an interval,
Transition.
little interval to.
Yeah, so review it too here. Like I said, homework this weekend is Minesweeper. Take a look at it, start planning out your notes, and start looking at the API. You can come with the questions out too. I expect one question out too. And if I don't get it, that means y'all aren't doing your work.
I don't want to fire.
You're fine.
I don't want to hear it.